Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Linob and in this video we'll be discussing about the common mistakes which normally students make while choosing university or college. If you are here for the first time, this channel is all about information on various topics which includes Canada migration studies. So before watching this video, I will suggest you to watch my previous video where I have explained clearly the steps to be followed before you plan for studies in Canada. So without any delay, let's get into the details. Now let us discuss about the mistakes normally students make while choosing a university or college. So the first mistake generally students make is blindly following the agent or consultant. They don't do any homework, just they give some money to the consultant, then they forget everything. They will leave to the consultant. I will tell you, there are many consultants. There are many agents who don't have any idea and they will take your money, approach some random universities where they have tie-up, they have some commission with them and then they will submit your application. It may be a reputed consultant or agent, but the problem is the visa coordinators or the visa officers who are assigned may not be competent enough. So they might not be having the proper knowledge, the information or the updates. So they will submit your application and it can be a negative effect. The visa gets rejected because he has not submitted in a proper format or he has not submitted properly what is required. So why I am saying this point is, if you know the documentation, if you know the procedure, then it will be easy for you to have a double check with a consultant or agent. You need to verify the documents before it is being submitted. Ensure that all the documents which they are going to submit is given to you for verification or review. Once you review, then only ask them to submit. It has happened in many cases that they submit it and they have forgot to attach some documents because these consultants or agents are working on number of profiles. So they are not bothered on your application. For you, your application is very important, but not for the visa officer or the visa coordinators who are doing this job, because that is a routine job and they are not bothered on your particular profile. So you have to be careful. You have to have a thorough verification. So that is my first point. Now the second point is, you should check with the agents or consultants whether this university or college is having co-op placements, because some of the universities or colleges, they have the co-op placements. So you can work there, for say 6 months. So it all depends, 3 to 6 months. So you have to check with them. So it is actually, sometimes it is paid or not paid. But if it is paid, it can be considered for the PR. While applying for the PR, it can be considered. So you have to check with the university or college whether they have co-placement. My third point is, you have to check with your consultant or agent whether this particular university or college are granting awards and scholarships. Some of the universities or colleges, they give scholarships, which you might not be knowing it. And a consultant or an agent might not support you on this because he is not getting benefits. So you have to take care of this. You have to question him. You have to question the agent whether this particular university or college is providing scholarships and awards. So this point you have to take care while choosing the university and college. My fourth point is the major point. Research on the province. First, you have to choose the province where you want to go. I want to go to Ontario. Why you are going to Ontario? See, in Ontario, you might be choosing maybe if you are a IT graduate, if your core experience is into IT, or if you have done a graduation in IT, then you can choose that particular province, because there are plenty of jobs available in Toronto, which is in Ontario province. So if you are from oil and gas background, then you can choose Alberta as the province, because most of the oil and gas jobs are available in Alberta. So this way you have to understand which province you have to choose. So this is the most important criteria first you have to follow. Choose the province first. As I mentioned, you have to go to the job portal and check the particular the certificate which you are going to get, that occupation is available in that particular province. So based on which you can select this province. I have seen many students who choose the Atlantic provinces, well, based on the consultant's suggestion or agent's suggestion. So well and good, I understand getting PR is comparatively easy, or getting visa is comparatively easy while choosing the Atlantic provinces. But one thing you have to be very careful, the universities should be public universities. If the universities you have chosen in this Atlantic provinces is not public, well, my dear friend, you won't get the benefit of going for the Atlantic province pilot program. So if you go for the Atlantic program, you won't be chosen if you are not taken your graduation from a public university. So the fifth point is timeline. Timeline is very important. Say if you are going for May intake, you ensure that you submit all your documents by November or early December, so that you give at least 3 months time for the visa officer to verify your documents and give your visa. Because sometimes it goes 3 months to get your study visa granted. So there might be a delay. So you have to give enough time for them to verify your documents and grant your visa. So by March mid, if you get the visa, then you can go by March end at least, or April. So make sure you give proper timeline before your intake. So plan accordingly. My sixth point is CV. And this is applicable for only experienced candidates who have experience and they have made a CV which they want to give it to the university or college. So while applying for admission, if you want a scholarship, as I mentioned, for our award, this experience might help you. Why? Because some of the universities see whether you have a background on management based on the program you are choosing. So if you have a management experience, yes, if you have highlighted all the skills related to the management, definitely they will give you the scholarships and awards. So be careful on this point. So my seventh point is, while applying for admission in college, you might not have the IELTS score. So what happens is, you haven't started the preparation for IELTS. So it may take at least 1 week to 2 weeks for the preparation. And once you give the test, it may again depend whether you have given the computerized test or the paper-based test. If you go for computer-based test, it may take 3 to 5 working days. Otherwise, it is 13 days. So, on a worst case, you can say almost a month. So, a month is wasted for the IELTS. So, once you get the IELTS results, then you have to apply for the admission. So, it is a long way. Sometimes what happens is, if you are planning for May intake, for example, you may not get the May intake, or you have delayed in submitting the IELTS score. So, what happens? So, what can be done on this point? So some of the universities, they accept DUOLINGO test result. Are all the universities accepting this? Well, no. Only some of the universities, as I mentioned. So when you approach a university or college, ask them whether they accept DUOLINGO test. And DUOLINGO test, just believe me, it's very easy compared to IELTS. You can just go and attempt it. Within a day, you will get the results. 1 or 2 days. And it takes only approximately an hour to attempt this test, unlike IELTS, which takes more than 2 hours. So it's very easy, and if you meet the minimum requirement, some of the universities or college which I mentioned might give you an admission. So which is more important for you? You have to grab the admission first. So once you get the admission, it is like a conditional offer. If you get the conditional offer, what you have to do is immediately go for IELTS preparation, give the IELTS. Then once you get the score, then immediately submit to the university. Then they will give you the unconditional offer. So first thing is you need to get admission. So most important is admission. So to get this is a shortcut. You have to follow this. My 8th point is regarding passport expiry. Say you're going for a master's degree. The master's is of 2 years program, say. And upon completion of your master's, you'll be getting a PGWP of 3 years. So to award you this 3-year PGWP, the total years of validity should be at least 5 years in your passport. Otherwise, what happens? Say if you have only validity is only 2 years. If your passport is going to expire within 2 years, they will give only till that period. I hope you got this point. So be careful. Your passport validity should be at least for 5 years if you are choosing master's program. I would recommend not to choose private universities in the Atlantic provinces. So my 9th point is regarding the timeline, which I have discussed in 5th point. Maybe you are applying late, and by the time you got the admission, your classes are about to start, but you didn't get the study visa. However, the university or college will definitely give you the permission to start your studies. And if you, in the worst case, if your study visa gets rejected, you will get all the refund, definitely. That is a different point. But when you start the studies, what will happen is, probably you must be doing the course online from your home country, unless you get the study visa. So that duration, say 2 months, 3 months or 4 months. If the course is 1 year, and if your online course, as I mentioned, if you are studying from home country, is 4 months, that will be deducted from the PGWP, the postgraduate work permit. So be careful on this point. So I hope you have understood all the points which I have discussed here. In case of any questions, I know it's a very long video, but I hope I have covered all the points required. In case if you have any questions, just shoot your questions in the comment box and I'll be happy to reply to your questions. I hope you like this video. Until next video, take care. Bye.